The Margot Robbie-produced Birds of Prey movie has been gaining momentum recently with the report that the film has found its big bad with the one and only Black Mask, a name that's probably not as recognizable to the casual Bat fan as Joker Mr. Freeze.
All right, everyone, chill.
So who the hell is Black Mask and what exactly is his role in the Batman universe? I'm Dave Klein and I'll be answering exactly that. But first, make sure to subscribe to GameSpot Universe for more TV show breakdowns and who the hell is videos, such as our latest video on who the hell is Batwoman. Black Mask was first introduced in 1985, appearing in both Batman and Detective Comics. He's the criminal alter ego of Roman Sionis, who's the son of two wealthy Gotham socialites and the heir to the Janus cosmetic company fortune. But, surprise, surprise, despite his riches, his home life was anything but ideal. You know that joke/insult people always say about being dropped on the head as a baby? Well, that's literally the first moment of Roman Sionis' life. He's actually dropped on the head as a baby. And that's why he's evil! Maybe. I mean, the comic actually says there was something strange in his eyes right after this happened. Fast forward and we see him interacting with his parents, who always tell him to put on a metaphorical mask, as they do the same while socializing with other rich people in order to get ahead, with one of these families happening to be the Wayne family and including a childhood Bruce Wayne. There's also the obvious metaphor of their family business being a cosmetics company and relating to people putting on a mask. One day, in running away from home, he comes across a raccoon which he feels a deep kinship to, as the raccoon is also forever stuck with the mask on. When he reaches out to pet the raccoon, the creature bites him in return, turning out to be rabid. His parents manage to save him, but once again feel he has changed. As an adult, he enters the family business and quickly works his way up the ladder. He becomes entranced with the model named Cersei and begins dating her as well as hiring her into the company. His parents won't have any of it, as she isn't the same social standing he's in, and they believe it will make their family look bad. As they don't like the public image it displays, they tell him to get rid of her. Instead, as you do, Roman burns down his family's house, killing both of his parents, and inherits both the company and family fortune. He immediately sets about redesigning the company and becomes obsessed with literal masks, beginning a massive collection of them. He promptly runs the company to the ground, first by creating a line of cosmetics only the Joker would be a fan of, and then by rushing an untested product out which ends up scarring its users, causing mass lawsuits. As the company hits rock bottom, so too does Roman. Cersei leaves both the company and him as a lover, and Wayne Foundation offers to bail out the company on the condition Roman stop running it. In his desperation, Roman spirals even deeper into madness until he finally decides to break into his family's crypt, where he's struck by lightning. Because why not? Somehow this doesn't manage to injure him, and he busts apart his father's ebony coffin and uses the casket to carve out a skull mask. Donning it, Roman calls himself the Black Mask and decides to turn his full attention to making a name for himself in Gotham's underground. Utilizing his vast wealth, Roman wastes no time in forming a gang to help him out. He calls them the False Face Society, and their gimmick is, you guessed it, wearing masks.
Ooh, somebody stop me!
The False Face Society helps Roman find vengeance on everyone involved in the Wayne buyout, disfiguring their victims' faces utilizing the same formula that ruined Roman's business. Finally, Batman intervenes, using himself as Bruce Wayne to lay a trap. This leads to an encounter where Black Mask falls face first into a fire he'd set, burning the contours of the ebony skull mask he'd made onto his face permanently. For a while, Black Mask became another Gotham fixture, moving in and out of Arkham Asylum. That was until a major overhaul he received during the mid-90s. For a while, the False Face Society became more cult-like in their devotion to exposing their victims' true faces by ritually scarring them, and Black Mask's face also became highly disfigured and more scarred than before. This theme was eventually dropped in the early 2000s, with Black Mask becoming more of a kingpin running all kinds of shady enterprises. He also gains a fondness for torture and is frequently seen tormenting and torturing his victims as he disfigures their faces, oftentimes while grilling them for information. Black Mask is featured prominently in stories like War Games and Under the Red Hood, where he's in the business of making power plays for control over Gotham's underworld, now for a love of money and power, as opposed to his cult-like origins. As the pre-New 52 era wound down, Roman was temporarily killed and a new Black Mask stepped up to fill the role. Jeremiah Arkham, yes, of the Arkham Asylum. Arkham experiences a mental break, Shocking for someone running an asylum like that. And dons the mask and the Black Mask persona, returning it to its more cult-like origins. Arkham's version of Black Mask treats the mask itself like a supernatural entity, though whether or not this was a legit ability the mask had acquired over the years, or Arkham just suffering the effects of decades treating the worst, remain pretty ambiguous. While wearing the mask, Arkham is invaded by the Black Mask personality and supposedly forced to commit horrible crimes. The idea of the mask having power over its wearer persisted through the New 52, though Roman is mostly kept out of the spotlight. He was returned as considerably less supernatural incarnation for the Rebirth era, which cast him yet again as your standard money-hungry ruler of the underworld. His anatomical skull look has since been traded in for a stylized black leather gimp mask, which he wears more to maintain an aesthetic and less because it's fused to his skin or because he's under any sort of mind control. Given what we know about the upcoming Birds of Prey film so far, it's looking like we're going to see more of the Kingpin version of Black Mask as opposed to the cult-like leader version, which is a little sad as that's what I prefer. But what do you prefer and what are you hoping to see out of Black Mask? Let us know in the comments below and I'll see you guys next time. Later guys, peace.